Coming up on NFL Daily by Chat Sports, we're going to take a look at 5 Deebo Samuel trade destinations and trade ideas. But if you're a 49ers fan watching us here on our main Chat Sports YouTube channel, I am the host of the 49ers Report, pushing out free daily videos covering the latest news and rumors, NFL draft coverage, free agency coverage, and coverage all throughout the NFL season. So subscribe and help us get to 60,000 subscribers by going to youtube.com/49erstv. All right, here we go. You're watching the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. I cooked up 5 Deebo Samuel trade ideas, and of course with that, some Deebo Samuel trade destinations. But first, let's set the foundation and get you caught up with everything going down on the Deebo front. Obviously, this is such a fluid situation, going back to that Jeff Darlington report of when he said that he spoke with Deebo Samuel, and Deebo informed him that he wanted to trade out of San Francisco. So Deebo has requested a trade from the 49ers. Obviously, he's unhappy with his current contract situation going into the final year of his rookie deal that pays him a base salary of less than $4 million. And according to additional reports, the 49ers have no interest in trading Deebo because he's under contract and they can place the franchise tag on him next year. And according to Josina Anderson, it would take, quote, a king's ransom for the San Francisco 49ers to trade away one of the best offensive players in the National Football League. Now, there were so many reports yesterday about Deebo being unhappy with his usage, with his position as a wide receiver and a running back, and all of those contractual demands. He did speak yesterday on Twitter, at least a little bit, before he actually deleted the tweet. He said this: reporters' jobs is to make stories only people know the truth about the situation is the 49ers, Tory Dandy, my agent, and Deebo Samuel. So basically he said the reporters, they make up all of these stories, but the only people who know the truth, it's me, it's my camp, and it is the San Francisco 49ers. Now, there was also some rumblings about Deebo wanting to be a true wide receiver. With the wide receiver market exploding, that's easy to see why, because he wants to get paid wide receiver money and not running back money. But what's funny is that Deebo Samuel's versatility is a big reason why he is one of one, and why last year he burst onto the scene as one of the most impactful players in the National Football League, and any other team that wants to trade for Deebo Samuel will want to use him in the way that Kyle Shanahan used him in 2021, because he's a versatile weapon who can impact the game in a variety of ways, and anytime he gets his hands on the football as a running back, as a wide receiver, or as a kick returner, he's a threat to take it to the house. So I think that somebody got in the ear of Deebo and said, look, your positional versatility is great. The fact that you can play all of these positions and really are a game breaker at each one of those spots is great, but you need to get wide receiver market money and not running back market money, so let it be known that you're unhappy with being used as a running back. Also, Adam Schefter, with this, before we get to those trade ideas, said that Deebo on NFL Live wants to be close to home. He's from South Carolina. The Niners drafted him. He, of course, didn't have a decision and a choice as to where he'd go coming out of South Carolina. So if he wants to be close to home, maybe it's a team in the Midwest, maybe it's a team on the East Coast. But Deebo, when you fly on planes, it's pretty easy to go anywhere in America within the span of a couple of hours. Trade ideas coming up right around the corner. But first, I want to hear from you in the comment section. I know so many people in the faithful are fired up about Deebo Samuel's trade demand. Where will he play in 2022? Will it be with the Niners or one of the other 31 teams in the National Football League? Let me know and predict it in the comment section. Deebo trade idea number 1, and I've revised these over the last couple of days given all of the most recent reporting and the value out there. Remember, Tyreek Hill got a haul and a bevy of picks back in that trade from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins. So trade idea number 1, it's a deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. The 49ers receive a first-round pick from Philly, which is 15th overall this year, and a 2023 first-round pick next year that the Eagles got back in a trade with the New Orleans Saints. I think this is pretty good value for San Francisco. They can draft a wide receiver at 15, and next year in the NFL draft, fulfill a position of need in the first round. Now, for Philadelphia, they want to find out if Jalen Hurts can be their franchise quarterback. And right now, they have one bona fide, true number one legit caliber wide receiver in Devontae Smith. Teaming Devontae Smith, coming off a rookie year in which he reeled in 64 balls for 916 yards and 5 touchdowns with Deebo Samuel, gives Jalen Hurts a really good supporting cast. And if Hurts isn't the guy moving forward, because you would assume that the Eagles would sign Deebo to a contract extension, the next quarterback would have Devontae as well as Deebo to throw the football off to. So who wins that trade? Let me know in the comment section right now. Type SF for the Niners, PHI for the Philadelphia Eagles. Get your votes in. Deebo trade idea number 2. It's to another team that's in need of a number one wide receiver with a young quarterback in Mac Jones. It's the New England Patriots. For this particular trade idea, I kind of like the haul. First round pick, number 21 overall, a 2023 second round pick where you can get a long-term starter, maybe even another wide receiver. And because the Patriots wide receiver room would be full, let's take a shot on N'Keal Harry. Let's see if the former first-round pick is a big-bodied wide receiver, a skill set that the Niners don't necessarily have in that wide receiver room, can actually live up to those expectations. And if not, you just cut him without that many financial implications. Mac Jones' weaponry right now. You put Deebo Samuel into this equation, and immediately the New England Patriots become a pretty intriguing offense. Now, we don't know who's going to be their offensive coordinator. Mac Jones was certainly up and down, but the point here being you want to support your young quarterback, and you can do that with Deebo, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne, the former Niner, Nelson Aguilar, and 2 really good tight ends in Hunter Henry as well as Jonnu Smith. Coming up in just a few moments, more Deebo Samuel trade ideas and trade destinations. Which other teams could be in the mix? Stay tuned for that. But I'd appreciate it if you give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram at Chase_Senior. It's the same handle on both social media platforms. Here at Chat Sports, cover the Niners, cover the NFL, NBA, college football, and a whole lot more. And I stay up to date with tweeting out absolute heaters, so give me a follow at Chase_Senior. Appreciate that in advance. We move forward with another proposed deal with the New York Jets, another team really starred for a wideout to support their other young quarterback in Zach Wilson. So there's a couple of deals here that could happen that would make me happy if I'm John Lynch, general manager for San Francisco. The first round pick at number 4 overall, straight up for Deebo Samuel. But if that's too much for the Jets' liking, we could try to negotiate. We can get on the phone to try to make that deal happen. But if the Jets want to keep that pick, I'm also cool with number 10 overall in exchange for Deebo Samuel. Now, you take a look at what Zach Wilson did last year. And keep in mind that the Niners, Jets, they have some level of communication with Robert Saleh there now as the head coach and Mike LaFleur as the offensive coordinator, both former Niners assistant coaches. And Zach Wilson last year was really just okay. He was somewhat spotty. You want to boost his confidence, give him a really good weapon who he can throw to and hand the football off to. I think his numbers would certainly get better than 2,300 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 11 picks. And the Jets need to find out if Zach Wilson can be the guy. You can find that out a lot easier with a great weapon like Deebo Samuel at your disposal. Now, Joe Douglas did speak on Thursday and said this, look, I can't comment specifically on an individual player, but he did say if the right opportunity presents itself, we are going to be aggressive. And back a couple weeks ago, there were a lot of reports about the Jets being interested in Deebo Samuel and A.J. Brown, some of the wide receivers going into the final year of their rookie contracts, who are all, by the way, represented by the same agent. Would Deebo Samuel fit on the New York Jets? I think he would, because immediately he becomes that number 1 wideout on the outside, inside, and in the backfield. Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. Treat that comment section like a Sports Talk Radio call-in line. Here at Chat Sports, we're all about the audience interaction, and we love to hear your feedback. Chat Sports will be going live for all 3 days, all 7 rounds, breaking down every single selection of the 2022 NFL Draft. So make sure you're subscribed to our main Chat Sports YouTube channel as we inch closer and closer to 300,000 subscribers. Just plug in that link at the bottom of your screen, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Two trade ideas to get to still. This one with the Kansas City Chiefs, who have been in the market for a big-time wideout ever since trading away Tyreek Hill. Now, you might be watching asking, well, if they didn't want to pay Tyreek Hill, why would they make a trade for Deebo Samuel? Deebo Samuel could potentially be just a little bit cheaper than the $30 million of average annual value that Tyreek Hill, the Cheetah, got in a new deal with the Miami Dolphins. So here's that trade proposal. First round pick at 30th overall, a second round pick at 62 overall, and we're going to throw a player into the trade as well. Mecole Hardman. I think that he would be a really intriguing weapon in Kyle Shanahan's offense. He is not going to demand anything close to Deebo Samuel in terms of guaranteed money, average annual value, or overall money on that contract. And in the back half of last year, I thought Hardman probably played the best stretch of football that he's played in his NFL career. Here are the total numbers, not just the back half of the year numbers. 59 grabs, 693 yards, average yards per catch just shy of 12, 2 touchdowns. You can also use him on jet sweeps, reverses, maybe some pitches as well, and I think that he could really break out in Kyle Shanahan's offense for a fraction of the price. Who wins this trade? Is it the Niners? Is it the Chiefs? Now, I think what's of note as well is that the Niners and the Chiefs have exchanged players, and they've made big trades before, and obviously they met back in the Super Bowl during the 2019 season. Type 4 for the 49ers win this deal, KC for the Kansas City Chiefs. Lastly, the Green Bay Packers traded away Davante Adams. Aaron Rodgers is now paid as the highest paid quarterback in the history of the NFL, making around $50 million per year. But currently, right now, yes, the Green Bay Packers could address the wide receiver spot in the talent-rich NFL draft. But right now, folks, we're talking about one of the weakest and worst wide receiver rooms in the NFL. So with this trade idea, the 49ers get a first-round pick at 22nd overall and the Packers' second-round pick at 53rd overall, on top of what the Niners are already doing, selecting at 61st. So you get a first-round pick back in a lot of these trades after you don't have a first-round pick until 2024, after trading away Trey Lance. With some of these deals, you get some player capital, and the Packers get that number one wide receiver as their Davante Adams replacement. And we know in Matt LaFleur's offense, they like to use their weapons in a variety of fashions, like Aaron Jones as a wide receiver, slot, and running back, and like what they've done with some of their wide receivers in the past. The Packers' receiving room is terrible. Allen Lazard is like the number one option right now. That ain't good enough. Not only did they lose Davante Adams, they lost Marquez Valdes-Scantling. So they're trying to replace the production of both of those guys, and Deebo Samuel could help fill the void in a variety of ways. Let's run through all of these trade ideas one more time to see which one you like the best, and I have a question for you to round out the show. Here's the trade idea with the Eagles, first-round pick 15th overall, and a first-round pick next year for Deebo Samuel. In this deal with the New England Patriots, it's a first-round pick at 21st overall and a second-round pick next year in exchange for Deebo Samuel. The New York Jets, with this trade, get their number one wideout for Zach Wilson, and they send away either the number 4 overall selection or the 10th overall pick. Chiefs receive Deebo Samuel, and they send away a first-round pick, 30th overall, and the 61st overall selection, a 62nd overall selection, because the Niners have the 61st pick, and Mecole Hardman is in that trade. And then lastly, with the Green Bay Packers, Niners, Packers, after meeting in the divisional round, they make a monster splash of a trade. First-round pick at 22nd overall, and a second-round pick at 53rd overall, and Aaron Rodgers gets Deebo in the frozen tundra. Of those 5 trade ideas, I want to hear from you, whether you're an NFL fan, 49er fan. Get into the comments section and let me know the best trade idea that I had to propose on today's show. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks so much for watching today's show.